Hey everyone, so here we have the engine itself. It's the Honda L15A7 directly out of a Ford2Fit. We actually bought this one on eBay for like 400 bucks from a junkyard in Montreal. You can see we've done a little bit to it, but not much. Pretty much all we do is we changed the oil pan from a wet sump to a dry sump. Basically what that does is that in a wet sump, the oil comes down through the engine and it collects in the oil pan here, and then there's a siphon pump that pumps it all the way back up to the top, and then it drops down again. With the dry sump, we have this oil pump right here that collects all the oil, and then it transfers it to the oil tank right here in the chassis, and then you can see it comes up through here back into the engine. And that gives us a couple different advantages. One, it lets us mount the engine lower down. You can see the old oil pan right here. See how big it is. See how much bigger it is than the old one, or than the new one. So we can mount the engine lower down in the chassis. Another difference is that this piece here is much heavier than the old one. And it gives it a little bit of a weight penalty, but it actually makes the center of gravity in the engine a lot lower. And then the main advantage and the main reason why race cars use dry sump systems is that when you're going through a corner or you're under heavy acceleration, all the oil in the pan will go to one side, and if that's away from the pickup, then you're going to starve the engine of oil. It might be for a few seconds while the car is going through the corner, but if that adds up over the lap, then you're going to get overheating and get huge problems. So the dry sump system here fixes that. And so here we have the new intake. It sits on the engine just like that, pretty much, and then it's going to go in the car right here. We'll have an oil filter, or an air filter rather, on the throttle body. And how could I forget the most important part? The red valve cover here changes it from a boring Honda-Fit Econobox engine into a certified Testarossa race car engine. And that's about 15 extra horsepower just with that. So this guy is about halfway finished. All the big things are done. The oil pan obviously is on there. The intake is pretty much ready to go on. There's a few other things, the electronics, the wiring harness, and all the plumbing for the water and the oil has to go on. But other than that, it's pretty much finished. So everybody, as you can see, is gone from the shop. I'm just here by myself. They're all in Toronto for the IndyCar race, but next week they'll get back, and hopefully we will be able to test fit the engine and start cutting these pipes.